biggest lesson I learned dancing in Egypt? It's this. Hi Shimmy Shakers, I know a lot of you have been asking me about my experiences dancing in Egypt, so I'm putting together a video series on some of the lessons that I learned. Now the number one lesson was Korsa, excuse my pronunciation. Korsa, directly translated from Arabic into English, means zucchini, but of course its connotations are much greater than this. Korsa is the phrase that Egyptians use to describe you cannot do anything without connections. Now, as a dancer in Egypt, your biggest connection is going to be your husband. Jokes aside, when I spoke to well-established dancers in the country, they said to me, Elisa, if you really want to succeed in this industry, you need to marry into it. I'm sorry, there's just so many reasons why I wasn't able to follow this advice. But the lesson is that you really need to work out what your boundaries are and what you're willing to sacrifice for your career. The second connection that you need is your friends. Now, this needs to steer a little bit because, of course, it takes a while to build up friendships. Your friends are not only going to make it a fun time for you in Egypt, but they're going to help you a lot too. For example, if you need someone to look after your cat, if you need a name of a good driver, even where I was living to pay my rent. My rent, I had to pay it in euros, but no banks would exchange it, so I needed a friend who would get paid in euros to help me exchange the money. The friends that I had in Egypt were one of the best things that I had in my experience while I was living there. I was part of such a community that I'd never been part of before in Australia. I felt that people were really living their life to the fullest and living their passions, and that was a really wonderful thing. Now, the final connection, this needs to grow a little bit. This is all about networking. Now, networking in Australia really makes me cringe, but in Egypt it's actually essential. The more people you tell what you want to do, the more likely it is that you're going to be able to get a job. So make sure you work out exactly what your dreams are and you share them with the world. So let me know what you think if you've had any experiences dancing in Egypt or even dancing in Australia or elsewhere, and how Korsa has been able to help you.